Good afternoon, baseball fans. How are y'all today? It is Tuesday, the 25th. All of the LCS games have ended. I am Suzy. That is Shelby. And we are Bourbon and Baseball. And we're super excited to go over kind of the last two games of the Astros-Yankees series, because of course. And then we will do a brief recap of that. And then we will jump into a brief overview of the Phillies, kind of our thoughts, whatnot. Shout out to Ram shirts.
Always solid.
Right?
Beautiful.
I'm digging it. Digging it. However, I have to be very careful because I'm a pig and I'm super messy. And I'm 1,000% sure that I will get something on this immediately.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty impressed with myself that nothing is currently on it. So.
Good thing we're not drinking today, because there is potential to be alcohol spilled on that, I'm sure.
This is true because it is in the afternoon before I have to go pick up my children from my mother-in-law's house. So unfortunately, there will not be any alcohol on the episode 12. Oh my goodness, Shelby, episode 12 of Bourbon and Baseball. But we will make up for that later.
So, we haven't been in playoffs. We haven't been on our normal recording schedule. So is this like a part one, or is it like another bonus?
It's another bonus. Again, if we had a Patreon or an OnlyFans, y'all would just be so excited because of all of the bonus episodes that y'all are getting.
You are getting what you paid
for. Free. Exactly. Exactly. This is quality content, ma'am.
I love it.
We have 26 YouTube subscribers now, Shelby. So y'all can't. Nope.
Top 200 baseball podcast.
We broke into the top 200 baseball podcast. I was floored.
Can't tell me shit this week.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Nope. And so let me start off with this statement, though, because I've run into a couple of different people. And let me get your feelings on this too, Shelby. We kind of talked about it briefly before, but let me get your feelings on this, because I would just like to say that I need salty motherfuckers to quit gatekeeping fandoms. Okay? As I've told you before, I became a fan of the Astros and baseball in general in 2018. After the World Series, I was woken up from a deep slumber on the couch from Game 5. And my husband was just so excited, and I was so angry as he was telling me, Alex Bregman walked it off in the 10th. We won. I'm all, sir, I understand all of those words individually, but when you put it together like that, I don't know what you mean. Okay? So no. So I need everybody that has said to anybody in their lives, you cannot be a true fan, or you can't be a fan of whatever team it is when they were not good, or when they're good when they were not good. Okay? So I need people to stop being salty about my fandom.
That's, to be honest, like, we're grown. It's just wasted energy. Like, worry about yourself. Right. We're having fun. We're enjoying it. Like,
thank you.
It's not
like, why you gotta be salty? Because I did not like. It wasn't that I didn't like the Astros. I just didn't like baseball in general for the first 35-ish years of my life. Okay, like, didn't like it. And now I've gone so far over to the opposite side that I have this freaking podcast with you now, Shelby, because my husband is tired of listening to me talk about baseball.
Poor mine.
So, yeah. So, but anyways, let's get into it. Were you able to watch games 3 and 4, Shelby?
I was. I will tell you, Game 4, I got to see the gist of it. So I got to see, the main event. But I did turn into a pumpkin when Wandy came in. So after that, I was out. Like, you had. So, before I get into this very short story, I turned into a pumpkin on work nights. Like 9 o'clock is like, it. So I was really worried, and I sent a message, and I was like, look, game got pushed back. I don't know what we're going to do. I was already asleep by the time he texted me and was like, hey, you can go to bed. It's going to take forever. And I was like, beat you to it.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, when it was the top of the fourth or bottom of the fourth, and it was already like 2 hours in, I'm like, oh my God, this game is going to last 43 years. 43.
Hey, 43 years, that's more than the price of a Yankees ticket that night. So.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen the prices for Phillies tickets?
Yes. Did you see for like the first game of Philly, the highest ticket price is like $51,000?
Yeah. Well, and I was just talking about like the cheap seats. The cheap seats were like $3,800 or something. I'm sorry, what now? Like, I realize that you're in Philly and stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, so
I'm on a teacher's salary. I can't be doing that.
Yeah. I'm like, I got 2 kids that I got to put through college at some point, and OnlyFans is not an option for them. But if anyone wants like feet pic, no, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
I'm not kidding. Anyways. Look, I got you.
Oh my gosh, I was watching TikTok last night, and I came across this girl who was doing a haul of what she was sending out, and it was a half-eaten lollipop and a pair of panties and half-chewed spit out cookies. And I was like, I'm sorry, what now? Like the panties,
$1,000,
like whatever, like I got that, but what's with the half-eaten food? What? And so I sent that TikTok to one of my friends. I'm all, how do I get into this line of business? Like, not the panties. Like, I don't want to do that. I go, but how can I half chew up food, spit it into a bag, and then mail it to people, and then give me money for it?
Yeah.
How is that a thing?
Tell me.
Right. Anyways, so sorry we got onto that tangent. Our 26 listeners, I apologize, but we will now get into baseball talk, because that is what you're here for, right? So, game 3 was the game where we shut out the Yankees. Garrett Cole was on the mound. And who was on the mound for us, Shelby?
Javi was phenomenal.
Yes. Our 5th best starter.
Quote unquote.
5th best starter against the Yankees' veritable ace, right? And he toe to toe, man. Toe to freaking toe. So, top of the 2nd, Christian Vasquez singles on that ridiculous error by Bader and Judge. And I will give Judge credit afterwards, saying, my bad. It was on me.
But so before you get to the next play, the best part was Garrett Cole yells out, I got you.
Yep.
Sure.
And then promptly gives up a 2-run blast to Chazzy Fizz to the short porch.
Little short porch action. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I don't understand. So like, here's a little baseball knowledge for you. So as an outfielder, you have to go back up the person. You should never go in front. Don't know what happened there, but it was like not fundamentally sound. Outfield play right there. So, I mean, shout out to Aaron Judge for making the error, though, because it then led to, the 2-run blast. And I think after that, it just kind of deflated the entire energy in the stadium. 1,000%.
So, the top of the 6th, I'm just going to go with the scoring plays because that's really what we're interested in, right? So, top of the 6th, Trey Mancini on a sac fly. And I will say that Trey's at-bats have looked a little bit more competitive.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
right?
He flew out to the warning track. I mean, like,
yes.
He was nailing up the baseball.
Yes. I still want to see David Hensley, though. We'll get into that. But Trey Mancini with the sac fly. So that scores in Bregman, Tuck to 3rd, Yuli to 2nd. And then they're just going to keep passing the baton. Christian Vasquez singles. Tuck scores, Yuli scores, and that base running was awesome by Yuli.
Wonderful. Like, what a great read. Especially, like, younger players, they have this, like, instinct to get back to the bag to make a tag, but he Wonderful, beautiful. I think I actually commented on it on Twitter when it happened. That was amazing.
Yeah, Mike. So I had missed it because I was tweeting.
Surprise!
Pay attention to the game, Suzy. But I had missed it, and my husband Mike was like, you didn't see that, did you? You didn't see Yuli almost catch up to Tuck at the plate, did you?" And I was like, "No." So I had to rewind it to see, because I was like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And then I saw it, and I was like, "Oh," that was great base running. So, that was the entire score, 5-0, shutout again in Yankee Stadium, and now we're 3 up in the series, right? And then we go to Game 4. Did you see the prices for Game 4 in Yankee Stadium?
I did. I literally told Olivia, I was like, because we were going to go to a game in Houston, but we were like, whatever. No, we're just going to watch it. I was like, it would have been cheaper for us to catch a flight to New York and get a ticket than it would for us to go to Minute Maid. So
Yep. Get a hotel room, get a flight, and the tickets, and it would have been cheaper had we gone there. Although I don't know if I want to wear Astros colors in Yankee Stadium. Did you see
the guy came out on the stretcher?
Mm-hmm. So the guy who posted that, the original video showed the guy on the stretcher and his right hand was all bloody, right?
Yes.
Then it came out that he didn't know, the guy who took the video didn't know if it was because it was a fight, or they said it might have been a medical emergency, like a seizure or something. I'm all,
right.
If it was a seizure, why was his right hand all bloody? Like,
right.
I don't understand. So I still am a little fuzzy on if there was an actual altercation or if it was a medical emergency or whatnot. But regardless, Yankee fans they're
a different breed. Like, how can you? Okay, your team has literally made it to the championship series. They were booing the entire series in New York for their own team. What are we doing? Like,
although if Josh Donaldson played for us, I'm pretty sure I'd boo him too. But that was mean. Sorry, Josh Donaldson. I won't say that again.
No, don't be sorry. He's a tool.
I don't understand why we're booing our own players though. Like, I understand why you're booing the Astros or the opposing team, whoever that may be. I get that. I understand that. But you're going to boo Aaron Judge, who just broke all kinds of records for you, who at this point in time, well, not technically right now, but after the World Series, is a free agent.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me that you as a fan base think that it's a wise idea to boo him? Wouldn't you just like throw flowers at him or something and be like, please sign again, please come back?
Literally, if I played for the New York Yankees in that kind of environment, in that big of a stage, as soon as I walked out the dugout, I would basically be like, well, here we fucking go again. I mean, it's got to be so mentally defeating when you, like, your own people are cheering against you.
That just, I don't know. That boggles my mind. But regardless, anyway, so on to Game 4, and Lance McCullers is on the mound for us. And Lance McCullers was slated to start Game 3, but couldn't start Game 3 because he got hit in the elbow with the champagne bottle.
Did you see the picture?
I saw the picture. Okay, so when they said that he just got hit in the elbow, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing.
And then the picture after the game, I was like, how? Now we know why the fuck Lance McCullers didn't have his freaking A+ stuff.
Like, you think his hair looked different in Game 4? His hair looked different. I don't know. No, I'm telling you, like, I'm sitting here and I'm watching some of the recap videos, and I was really thinking that the other night. I was like, his hair looks different. I don't know if he cut it, but
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
Check it out.
Interesting. Okay. I'm like, maybe I will. Maybe I will right now. No, I'm just kidding.
But he wasn't his Lance McCullers self.
No, he was not. So immediately, okay, Nestor Cortez on the mound for the Yankees, which we had said, Nasty Nestor will be not a problem for us, but a little bit more challenging, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Nestor Cortez is on the mound, first inning, strikes out the side, 3 up, 3 down, right out.
There we go.
So, Lance is on the mound, and immediately Harrison Bader singles. I'm like, oh, cool. That's how we're gonna start the game. Good. That's exactly how I want to start the game. I was like, okay, we can. That's all right. That's okay. That's just a single, right? And then Judge with a fly out, and then Anthony Rizzo gets hit by a pitch, which I don't think that he should have been hit by a pitch because he totally leaned into that shit. Like, I really think that he, like, well, maybe he didn't lean into it, but there was no attempt to get out of the way of the ball, right?
Oh, no, there's not going to be. I mean, like, they have had that's the most momentum they've had in the entire series.
Yeah.
That inning right there.
So, I will have to tell you a story about getting hit by pitches later on. Needless to say, it was my first Little League baseball experience when I moved to Texas 93,000 years ago. So we will just leave it there. So, Aaron Judge flies out, then Anthony Rizzo gets hit by a pitch. So now we have runners on first and second, and then Giancarlo singles. And I'm all, what is happening? Okay, all right, that's okay. They just scored one. It's okay. We're going to hold them here. And then Gleyber Torres singles, and I'm all, cool, okay. Guess we're just going to hold him here then. All right. And then the bottom of the second inning, IKF immediately doubles them all. This is not looking good. But that's okay because it's Lance of the Colors, right? And he is going to grind and he's going to get it, right? And then Anthony Rizzo, and then Aaron Judge walks, and then Anthony Rizzo doubles, and now the score is 3-0, and now on the inside I'm all, like, I was like, okay, if we lose, that's fine. I don't think we're going to lose the series, obviously, because Yankees, but if we lose, not a huge deal. But I kind of wanted to sweep him. And then in the third, Martin Maldonado walks. Good at bats by Maldi, right? Good at bats. And then Nestor, they come out and check on Nestor. And Nestor's like, no, cool, I'm all right. Cool, go away, I got it. And then Altuve totally looks better at the plate. And now I'm a little worried because of this long layoff again that it's going to take him all series to get back into his groove. But we'll get into that in a minute. So Altuve walks, Martin walks, and then Jeremy Pena comes in and hits a 3-run freaking bomb.
Monster tank to left field.
My gosh, Jeremy Pena.
I knew what was going to happen. I felt he was going to get a big hit, whether it be a double or something. I was like, oh, man, he's going to do it because Nestor looked uneasy. Like, he just didn't look right. Everybody saw his velo go down. He couldn't find the strike zone, and I was like, he's going to serve one up, and, like, it's going to go. It was great. So Jeremy Pena hits the 3-run home run, and now we are tied, and I'm like, oh, sweet. Okay, we're going to hold him here. We're not going to hold him here, guys. So Wandy Peralta comes in, and I was really surprised to see Wandy Peralta come in, but I was like, oh, okay, they're just going to empty the bullpen tonight. Were you waiting for him to bite his hand?
I was hoping that he was going to do it again so that maybe I don't know, like maybe it was a ritual
thing. Yeah.
Right? I don't know. He did not bite his hand. Whatever. So then Jordan doubled, and then Breggy flew out, Tuck with a single, and then so now we have runners on first and third, and then Yuli singled, and when I say that I am here for postseason Yuli, I am here for postseason Yuli. Oh my gosh.
He's a whole different player right now. Whole different player.
I'm so excited that Yuli Gurriel decided, okay, guys, saved it all for the postseason. I got you. So now we're up 4-3, and I'm like, cool. We're good. We're not good because Lance comes back out, gives up another run, and I was like, oh, all right. And then did you see the pass balls that Maldi was doing? Or were you a pumpkin by then?
I was out. Done.
Okay. So it was, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if him and Lance McCullers were getting crossed up or I don't know, but it was a couple of pass balls and like some wild pitches that I was like, oh my gosh. Like, can we see Christian Vasquez again? No? All right. But anyways, so Yankees come back out and they tie it because Anthony Rizzo singles. And now we're in the top of the fifth. And that double play that Jonathan Loizaga did Wandy Peralta was in the top of the 5th. He walks Jordan Alvarez, and then Boone says, nope, just kidding. I'm going to pull you. Go away. Jonathan Loizaga comes in, and I like to refer to him as Johnny Lasagna because I can never say his name correctly. Like, I have to physically actually think about his name.
Loizaga.
He's Nicaraguan, apparently. So it's, yeah. If I don't think about it, I just mangle his name. So I have to actually physically think about pronouncing his name correctly. So Johnny Lasagna it is. But Lance grounded out, man. Like, he grinded, and he did not have his best stuff, and he knew he did not have his best stuff. But the fact that he stayed in that game for the 5th and then just passed the baton on to everybody else, I was like, oh, all right. So Neris came in the 6th and then gave up a freaking home run to Masturbator, and I do not understand what the mouth guard is. I need to find out what the mouth guard is. Like, why?
He had 5 bombs in the postseason. I guess he can, but it's very annoying, especially when they pan the camera out to him and he's just like a cow chewing his cud is what he looks like.
Yeah. See, but he annoys me on the Yankees. He did not annoy me when he played for the Cardinals. And I don't know if it was because he wasn't playing against us.
It's the hair.
Or what?
Is
it the hair?
He had long hair.
Okay.
Remember? He had very long hair.
Okay.
He looks like a totally different guy.
Okay. Yeah. So postseason Harrison Bader apparently is a badass home run hitting machine. So now it's 5-4, and they will score all of the runs that they will score. And then Johnny Lasagna in the bottom of the 6th. I was about to ask if you saw that play again, but no, you were a pumpkin. I'm dumb, and I do not retain information, apparently.
Boring at this point.
Yeah. So that in the top of the 7th, Altuve hit a comebacker to Johnny Lasagna, and it was so close. It was so freaking close. So the ruling on the field was upheld, but when they replayed it in like a couple of different angles, it looked like by a freaking millisecond that Johnny Lasagna had beat Jose Altuve, and I was sad. I was like, oh no. But apparently replay room said, oh no, we don't have definitive information. So Altuve's on first, and then Pena with the fielder's choice. Did you see the replay of that? Between the error between Torres and IKF?
Mm-mm.
It wasn't good. I don't understand what happened. IKF was coming across the bag like really hard to second, and Glaber tried to like kind of shovel pass to him, and like it went offline, and literally Altuve was like right there, like it was tailor-made double play.
I will tell you, like Jose Altuve, he's been in this little funk, and we've all acknowledged it. He's acknowledged it, but it's fun to see him be like hustle Altuve. Like we don't get to see that all the time, but he's like busting his ass to get on base right now, and it's fun to watch. Like that's our MVP. Yes,
yeah. So so he's busting it, and it, like I said, it was like tailor-made double play, but it obviously did not happen. And then like right now. So Altuve's on second, and Jeremy Pena is on first now, and then Jordan says, you know what, guys, I'm not going to go for the big hit. I'm going to just single right here. So he singles.
No big deal.
And then Altuve scores, and then just passes the baton to frickin' Alex Bregman, and then Clay Holmes comes in for the Yankees and is like, okay, no, I got this. Don't worry. And then Alex Bregman is like, no, you don't. I'm going to single them. So we tie it with the Jordan single, and then we go ahead with Bregman's single, and then Tucker grounds out. Yuli grounds out. And then Brian Abreu comes in, and I will say that Brian Abreu doesn't make my orifices pucker as much as he used to.
Yes, no, agreed.
Rafael Montero has now taken that mantle.
Agreed.
But the top of the 9th, Jose Altuve singles, and then Jeremy Pena with the bunt, and then it was was just a bad. I don't even know. It was a bunt, and it was a double play because Altuve tried to make it to third. And I was like, that's cool. No insurance runs. That's all right. We didn't want insurance runs. It's okay.
But who is this closer that we have on the mound? My gosh. This man has been electric.
Out.
Electric.
Lights out. Do you think that he is underrated?
Absolutely.
By like the rest of the league, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The only closers that you hear about right now is like Edwin Diaz, and then you hear about like Josh Hader. And then like Emmanuel Clase. Other than that, he's never in the conversation. But I don't know if it's because he's a junk guy. He's got a great curveball. I don't know if it's a junk guy. He doesn't throw very hard.
I think maybe that's it. He doesn't have the velocity that.
No, I mean, he doesn't, but he is so effective, and he's so good at what he does.
Yeah. And how?
I agree, though. He is very good.
I feel bad for the next statement that I'm about to make, but not bad enough for me not to say it. So there's my preface.
What are you about to say?
So how poetic was it that the last out of the game to send us to the World Series was Aaron Judge?
Poetic AF.
Right?
Poetic AF.
And a little part of me was like, oh my gosh, if he hits a solo bomb right here to tie it up, like that would be like storybook franchise ending stuff, right? Like, I was like, oh
he would put his Scott Boras stuff on like his.
Yeah. And so I had gotten nervous during the game and went to go do dishes.
Okay.
When all of the scoring started happening, I was like, well, now I have to just keep doing dishes because scoring.
Right.
I went back into the living room when the announcer, and I just caught the announcers saying that Aaron Judge had 4 at-bats against Ryan Presley, and he was 4 for 4 against Ryan Presley.
You know, that makes you feel really good in that moment, doesn't it? You're like, oh, fuck yeah, can't wait.
I was like, that's so good. That's so good. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. Oh, yeah. So the fact that it was that player, it was poetic, and you couldn't write it up any better. So games 3 and 4, and we swept freaking New York, and the petty part of me, which is apparently a very big part of me, was just so excited.
Of course.
Was so excited.
I know we're about to transition, and not speak about, Yankees baseball. We're probably going to talk a little bit of shit about the Yankees in general throughout this podcast, but we're not going to talk about Yankees baseball. I have to tell you one of my favorite quotes from one of my friends this week. So we text back and forth. She's one of my very good friends and one of my coworkers. And I've been saving this, so you need to look at your phone. I'm about to send it to you. She said, Aaron Boone looks like Spike from Flushed Away, the movie Flushed Away. And I'm about to send you a picture of Spike from Flushed Away because she nailed it.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's so true.
So, yeah, that, and then she also said that Harrison Bader looked like Dash from The Incredibles, which I will also send you right now.
Yes, that I do understand. That reference I do understand. And I kind of, yes. And again, I think it's the hair. I think it's the hair that makes him look like that.
But the Spike from Flushed Away about killed me because
that is so good. That's so good.
So I had to share that with you.
Good night. So real quick, obviously Jeremy Pena is the freaking ALCS MVP, and I was so thrilled for him.
Oh yeah, totally
so freaking excited.
I was ready for Chaz to get it though. If Jeremy Pena would not have come through with that clutch bomb, it was Chazzy's time to shine. It was time to shine.
Like, I don't know what more this motherfucker has to do to ensure that the center field job is his.
But I'm telling you,
what more can he do?
But again, like, we love Chazzy. You know, we hype him up when he's doing well. But like, if he's just not doing well, we're like, okay, you know, it is what it is, kind of thing. Like, Chaz is like he's probably the best player on the Astros to cheer for because he gives you the least amount of heartbreak.
This is true. This is true.
It is true, right?
This is true. Well, because I mean, what we won the entire series essentially with two of our arguably best hitters being freaking cold. I mean, Altuve finally figured it out this game, or the game 4. But you want to talk about being on shaky ground. Like, obviously this pitching performance by Lance was not his best. So we have, I wouldn't say subpar, but, you know, not up to standards pitching performances by our starting pitchers. Arguably poor performances from our best hitters. Mm-hmm. And the entire freaking line, well, not the entire lineup, almost all the scoring has happened by players that you didn't freaking realize were on the freaking Astros. I mean, like, we realize that they're on the Astros, but like other players are like, who the fuck is Chas McCormick?
Yeah, no.
Why do we not know?
Like his name is Chaz or something like that. Or
yes. And Chaz was like, "What's wrong with my name?" I was like, "Get him, Chaz, get him." But yeah, like, you know, when you go down the Astros lineup, you quote unquote circle the guys that you need to be aware of. It's typically that like 1 through 5, 6-ish.
Yeah.
You're not worried about Maldi. You're not worried about whoever our DH is. Well, unless it's Jordan. Mm-hmm. You're not worried about the, 8 or 9 hole.
Christian Vasquez.
You're like, Chaz, no, we're not going to worry about him. And then he just doinks a freaking, 2-run home run to the short porch. And then that is why you cannot sleep on freaking Astros lineup. Nobody.
No.
So, can I tell you, this is so cheesy. When Lance McCullers, during after the celebratory speeches, when he said that he's like, I love the city, bury me in the H. I love this. I was like, oh my gosh, Lance McCullers, I love you so much.
Fangirl.
I told myself that I was stupid. I was like, why are you tearing up, Suzy? That is the stupidest thing in the entire world. What are you doing?
Because he is so, like, you can tell he loves this city. He loves this organization. He loves the fans. Like, we're so emotionally attached to this man. Like, nobody was on, I know I didn't see nobody's bashing him for not pitching well. We're just like, oh shit, he's not pitching well. But he's a winner and he's a competitor. Like, we love him. We love him.
Yes. Yeah. So, literally, Lance McCullers, please, for the love of God, I need you and Bregman and Altuve to stay here forever. Well, and Jeremy Pena and Kyle Tucker and Jordan Alvarez. Pretty much everybody. I need everybody to stay here, okay? Like,
find the money, click. Find the money.
I need everybody to stay here. But you want to talk about breaking hearts, Shelby? You want to talk about breaking hearts? Do you know what I found out today?
What?
And I shouldn't be surprised. Mm-hmm. But I found out today that Jeremy Pena does, in fact, have a girlfriend.
What?
And they've been together since his University of Maine days.
Oh, okay.
So she's a real one and not just, like a gold digger.
Yeah, she's not a cleat chaser.
Yes. And so, I don't know why it broke my heart. Not like I, as a married, middle-aged woman, had any sort of chance with Jeremy Pena.
It's the fact that he feels available, That's what it is. It's the availability. It's the slight chance when there's no chance.
Yeah, no. There is not a chance in hell. But and so the reason I found this out was a article by Danielle something, I can't remember her last name, that said that he was FaceTiming on his girlfriend's phone. I'm sorry, what now?
On whose phone?
Exactly. So then I went and looked at the picture and then tried to go to Instagram to look at all the wives and girlfriends to see if I could see her. Could not. Like, she was not tagged. And so, but that's the way they keep it though. Like, they don't put it out there. And so I had to Instagram stalk just a tiny bit. And I'm not proud of myself, but I went all the way back and found her. And she looks like a very, very lovely girl who wants to keep everything on the down low. Like, was like a student athlete in Maine, and now works for, I'd say, like Lockheed and Martin or something like that. Or
she's building missiles for the government. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I was like, hey, yeah.
Okay.
And in that photo, like, he had tagged her, and she's like, why you got to put me out there like that? And I was like, I'm just saying that if I was the girlfriend of Jeremy Pena, I think maybe I would be like, hi, the girlfriend of Jeremy Pena. Hello, that's me. But then I see all of the, like, the comments from all the thirsty bitches being like, oh, I will treat you better, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, never mind. I lied. This is why. This is why she don't want to be put out there, because she don't want to have to deal with that.
No.
So shout out to Jeremy Pena's girlfriend. And she has a very beautiful name that I cannot pronounce. And her actual pronunciation, she, like, put it in her Instagram bio, because obviously so many people mispronounce it. But
I will be searching for this.
Yes, I will send it to you. I will send it to you.
Wonderful.
Yes. So we sweep in for the Yankees, and now we're headed to here. We're headed to Minute Maid on Friday for the World Series against the Phillies. Thoughts on the Phillies? Shelby, go.
I have thoughts and I have feelings.
This is a safe space, ma'am. I can't promise when we put it out and it's like on the interwebs that will be a safe space, because we all know that's not.
I feel very
this is a safe space
about the Phillies. Okay, I'm gonna just be honest. I feel uneasy. They remind me a lot of the Braves, and I think from last year, and I think that's why I feel a little bit uneasy. Like this, I got to watch a lot of their games, and their $300 million man hits the 8th inning home run to put them up, to send them to the World Series, and you're watching their locker room culture, you're watching the fans, you're watching the city spend a day or two to grease the light poles to make sure that people don't climb on it.
It didn't work though, because it rained and all the grease washed off.
Yes, but they refuse to lose. They refuse to lose, and everybody's stepping up, and I'm just. It's going to be a very competitive series. I don't think you could have asked anybody in America that it would be the Phillies and the Astros, and that anybody would feel uneasy about it. But watching the Phillies throughout the playoffs, they definitely deserve to be in the position that they're in right now. They are a team on fire, and a couple of points that I want to go back to. You said no one would have thought the Astros and the Phillies would go to the World Series. And I saw a tweet today by Game Day MLB, and it was someone that put a better on BetMGM placed this future in April. Okay. Will the Astros come through for them? So the ticket was MLB World Series exact outcome. Exact outcome, Houston Astros defeat the Philadelphia Phillies. They put that bet on April 13th of this year. Mm-hmm. They bet $50, and the total odds was plus 250,000. So if this pays out, they will get $125,000. So at least one person in America or somewhere, I don't know. Plot twist, it was me, bitch. No, I'm kidding. So, you will now, if you no longer see Shelby on this podcast, it is because it was her, and she's
Fuck all y'all. I don't need y'all. And, but yeah, I'm like, oh my God, that is so crazy. So anyways, at least one person thought about that. But you brought up a very good point about the culture in the clubhouse. So I want to make a couple of, not counterpoints, but counter-adjacent points. There we go. So in the middle of the season, for those who don't follow any of the NL teams or anything like that, in the middle of the season, the Phillies fired their manager, Joe Girardi. And the last half of this season was the quote-unquote interim manager, Rob Thompson. After they fired Joe Girardi, the Phillies started fucking winning. Right? Like, everyone attributed it to Rob Thompson. And from the interviews that I've seen and read, they will run through walls for Rob Thompson, right? The same clubhouse culture can be said of the Astros, right? How often have you seen all of our players 1000% say, we're doing this for Dusty. We're doing this for Dusty. We're going to get the ring for Dusty. Like 1000%, right?
Like Dusty's got to get a ring. I need to see another shoey from Dusty. Do you remember when he poured the beer into the?
Yes.
Got to see a shoey.
Yes.
I mean,
I gagged a little when I saw it, but I understood the premise.
Yes. This man, I don't understand how people can't love Dusty Baker. Like, he's a legend. You got to see him get a ring. You got to see him.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he has made some iffy calls, right? But I think he's obviously more of a feels, quote unquote, feels manager versus, like totally analytically driven. Words are hard. He's an old school guy. So
he's an old school guy.
And I just look, you see the two cultures, Astros and Phillies, and how much they revere their manager and how much they love him. I mean, like, they would go to war for him. And then you look over at the Yankees dugout. Do you see any of that? Like, you think any of those guys, any of those players would go to war for Aaron Boone?
No, they're throwing him under the bus. I mean, like, they're literally throwing, I don't know, ask Boone. Like, why are you not going to the game? I don't know, ask Boone. Like, he has no relationship with these guys. But I think that's why I trust Dusty, even though when he does make, questionable decisions, like, he knows the guys.
Yeah.
He knows our guys.
So when you say that you are uneasy and that this Phillies team reminds you of the Braves team from last year, I will agree with you that this Phillies team makes me a little bit uneasy. However, they do not have the pitching staff that the Braves did last year.
No, absolutely. No.
So, I mean, really, nobody has the pitching staff, right? Like, that we're not worried about. So I saw this on, what is that one show with D-Row and Roflo and Lauren Shahadi? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
It's MLB.
Is it on base?
I don't know. No, it's not on base. I don't know. Anyways, it's the one, MLB Central. There we go. Whew, I had a brain freeze. So I was watching it this morning while I was supposed to be doing homework, and they put up the starting rotation option comparison. So our quote-unquote top five, JV, Fromber, Christian, Lance McCullers, Luis Garcia. Okay. Doesn't even mention Urquidy, who was in the freaking rotation. Right? The Phillies rotation, Zach Wheeler, formidable. Aaron Nola, formidable. Ranger Suarez has become formidable. Bailey Falter, no. He didn't get out of the first inning.
Yeah.
He didn't get out of the first inning in that Phillies Padres game. Right? So, no, I'm sorry, Bailey Falter. We are not scared of you one bit. So we're going to consider that a bullpen game. And then Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah.
I would say that Noah Syndergaard on a good day would be formidable-ish.
Meh. Yeah. No,
but
I
think
totally agree. I totally agree. And I think what the Astros have done so well in the playoffs is they've kept our bullpen fluid. So they're giving us 5, 6, 7 innings to where we can rotate our bullpen really well day by day. But the Phillies, not so much. Like the other day, they put, what's his name? Falter, is that his name?
Bailey Falter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're having to throw all of their arms out there. There's nobody. They don't really have a great long reliever guy. But that is going to be, where the Astros, if the Astros can pitch like they did through the division series, it's terrifying.
Yeah. So I think that will be the key, which I think is the key to pretty much all of the games that we've won, right? Put a lot of pitches on the starting pitcher, knock him out early, and get into the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Their bullpen is not as solid as ours. Again, how many bullpens are as solid as ours? Not that many, right? So they're big names, quote unquote, the ones that they trust. Jose Alvarado, who has nasty stuff like high velocity
lefty
cutters, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that's
lefty.
Yeah, that's not hittable. Just kidding. So Jose Alvarado, David Robertson, but he didn't have great stuff in the last inning that he pitched against the Padres.
No, and then I'm sure you'll bring up Sir Anthony, right? Because he's been.
Oh, how can we forget Sir Anthony?
But okay, so the rain started to come down in that last game, and he was all over the place. I mean, is that a turning point for him? Do you think he's going to be able to come back from it?
I don't know.
I feel like that has a potential to mentally kind of screw with a pitcher just because you've been so great, and then you can't find it all of a sudden. Like it's very hard to come back from. So
yeah. Side note: how can the Phillies and the Padres play in a literal monsoon? And yet the quote unquote threat of rain delays our game by like 2 hours. How's that a thing? I don't know. But I'm not a conspiracy theorist in the least bit at all. Anyhow, so other notable names in their bullpen. So Ranger Suarez actually came in and closed for one of them in one of their games. He has turned into a great pitcher. The last couple of games that he's thrown in like the postseason. In the regular season, he wasn't great. Bailey Falter has been hurt, so I'm not obviously going to hold that against him. But we're going to consider that a bullpen game essentially. And then their other arms out of the bullpen, I want to say Kyle Gibson, which I kind of feel bad for Kyle Gibson. Like, what happened to Kyle Gibson?
Is it what?
Did he get what?
Is Hand still in the bullpen? What's his name? His name Brad Hand?
Brad Hand. Connor Brogdon, I think, is still in there. Trying to think of who the other ones that I have heard them say. Did you know that Chris Davinsky is one of their relief pitchers?
Wonderful.
Okay, so bullpen. Dave Robertson, Corey Knebel, Jose Alvarado, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Brad Hand, Connor Brogdon, Chris Davinsky, Samuel Coonrod, and Damon Jones. I don't think that we'll be seeing Samuel Coonrod, Damon Jones, or Chris Davinsky in any of these games. So Connor Brogdon, Brad Hand, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Jose Alvarado, Corey Knebel, and Dave Robertson will be the relievers that we see. They list as actual closers Dave Robertson and Corey Knebel, and then their setup man is Jose Alvarado, and then Sir Anthony Dominguez. Let's see. So the lowest ERA is, Dave Robertson with a 2.42 and 63 innings pitched, and he has 20 saves. So it'll be interesting to see what we can do against Dave Robertson and Corey Knebel.
Yeah, we got to get to the bullpen.
So I think if we can get to the bullpen early, I think we'll do all right. I do, however, need no base runners on base when Bryce Harper comes up. Or Kyle Schwarber.
Or Rhys Hoskins.
Or apparently Rhys Hoskins. Or JT Realmuto.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that, and that's the thing. That's the one thing I don't really have feelings about, because I don't feel like I have developed a very good opinion on it, is they haven't really seen phenomenal pitching either. I mean, they've seen the starters for the Padres, but other than that, and the Braves have good pitching, but they don't have great pitching.
Well, but the Braves, when they saw the Braves though, their starters didn't have it either.
No, and then the Mets, which caught them obviously in an off series too. So I mean, I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna. But again, they're hungry and they refuse to lose. So
exactly. So, I totally agree with your point that it will be interesting to see how well they stack up. Are their bats that hot? Or has it been a combination of hot bats plus subpar pitching?
Right. Absolutely.
So now, what are you going to do with hot bats and ace pitching? So that is what I will be interested to see. So, I think they said that Aaron Nola will be the starter for Game 1, and Zach Wheeler will be their 2.
Yeah, so we all knew it was gonna be either or.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a clear cut 1 and 2. I think it's like a 1A, 1B, right? Like
exactly.
And I say Fromber is R2, but I kind of feel like it's a 1A, 1B situation there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I just want to point out that both of these teams playing in the World Series have rookie shortstops, Shelby.
They do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The Phillies moved on from, I think it was Didi Gregorius, and they handed the reins over to Bryson Stott.
Mm-hmm.
And he has performed admirably for them.
Yeah, we talked about him. What was it on that last episode of the episode before, when they were just dogging him about the only reason he's here is because people got hurt and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, and then I love Alec Boehm. So the entire reason I know about, Zach Eflin. I forgot about Zach Eflin as one of their relievers too. I was like, I know I'm forgetting someone. Anyways, the only reason I know about Alec Boehm now, before the playoffs, is because when he came up, he didn't do well, right? Like, didn't do well. And
are you going to talk about the lip reading video?
Was it a lip reading, or was it, like, did he actually say it? Because I'm pretty sure he actually said it, like, on a mic. Like, I don't know if he was mic'd up or somebody else was mic'd up.
He totally, I know exactly what you're talking about, because that's exactly what I think of too.
Okay. So for those that don't know the story, when he came up, he wasn't doing very well. Obviously, coming from the minors to the majors is a big transition, right? And like,
errors.
Yeah. So there's some pressure there. And after one of the errors, I don't remember if it was caught on one of the field mics or what, but it was caught that he had said, "Oh, I hate it here." And I took it as a generic, like, oh my gosh, I just made an error, like, and I hate it in this space, like, right this second, because I've said it in my own life. Fuck, I hate it here, like, and I don't actually mean that, I want to run away to the circus.
Because they started booing him. Oh
my gosh, they crucified him. I will give him credit, though, because next day he came out and he was like, I'm young, and it was in the heat of the moment, and it wasn't, I misspoke, blah, blah, blah. And he took ownership of that, and I will give him credit. And I will also give the Phillies fan base credit, though, because after he apologized, they were like, okay, cool. Like, all right, like, we're still probably not going to like you, and it's probably going to be a little bit harder for you to get us to like you, but all right. So that's the only reason I knew about Alec Bohm before any of the playoffs.
I remember that at the beginning of the year.
So okay, I have questions for you.
Okay.
1, do you think Will Smith will be on the roster?
No.
You don't think Will Smith will be on the roster?
I don't.
Interesting.
I do not. I think, I mean, the pin's developed. The pin is flowing. I mean, I just don't see it.
Because they have, I think, three left-handed batters, and I think they've got a switch. I don't remember, but I know they have at least 3 left-handed batters. I mean, I really don't think, I honestly think that whoever the fuck you throw up against Bryce Harper it's just a crapshoot.
Our righties perform well against lefties too.
Yeah, this is true. I think, what is it? Stanek's splitter and Neris' splitter neutralize lefties as well. So it'll be interesting to see if we see Ryan Stanek again in this series, because we hadn't seen him in 84 years.
Did you see his post-game interview? Because, naturally they're in the dugout and they're like, basically asked him, like, is his feelings hurt because he hadn't got to? And he was basically like, no, like, it just is what it is. It's how baseball works. Of course I want to go out there and throw every game, but it's not possible when everybody else is shoving. It just is what it is. And I'm like, fuck yeah, Ryan Stanek.
Yes. Well, and I really liked it because you could kind of tell that he wanted to be like, y'all are making this a much bigger deal than it is.
Yeah,
like, the media is making this, like, I know he didn't say it, but you could tell that he was like, no, like, he understands that it is what it is. And I think that's the whole key to this freaking team. It's that team mentality, that it's not like one. Yes. Like, it's not one player that's going to do better than the other or whatever. Speaking of that, did you see the Lance McCullers quote or whatever? I can't remember where I saw it. What article it was in, but it was basically Lance McCullers talking about the culture and essentially the brotherhood and the chemistry of the clubhouse, and saying that it didn't matter if it was a rookie or a vet or whatever, like, from day one, you're going to come in, you're going to work hard. Cool. You're in, let's go. Like, there was no,
look at Christian Vasquez. You remember, they were playing the Sox literally when he got traded, and he was destroyed. Like, you could tell, like, look at him now. He's smiling. He's pumped. And he was like, I love this guys. Like, these guys are so welcoming.
Yeah.
I love it here.
Yep. Well, and Trey Mancini, literally, I don't think there's an interview that goes by that Trey does not bring up the camaraderie in that freaking clubhouse, and how much work and effort that they put into, like, well, working, one, but then, like, trying to treat basically everybody as, like, equals. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a vet. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie. It doesn't matter. Like, we're all here to do one job, and it's to win the World Series, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this team so much. So, I have another question for you.
Okay.
Do you think that Jose Urquidy will come out of the pen at any point in time?
I do.
In a blowout? Or do you think he will come on in relief somewhere, or?
Yeah, I think he has potential to come in for some kind of long relief, but I think it's
long relief.
If we need 3-4 innings, I think we see Jose Urquidy.
Okay. Do you think we will see David Hensley at any point in time in this series?
That's a tough one. I knew that one was coming. I should have known.
You should have known, because he's quickly becoming one of my favorite players.
Absolutely. He gets a mention every episode. I am going to say yes. And the reason I'm going to say yes is because I think Dusty is very passionate about giving the young guys experience. We saw it in the Seattle series. And I don't think we saw it this last series simply because we never had a really pressing moment. Like, I don't feel like there was any kind of pressured moment. I feel like the atmosphere, just even watching, like, it was very fluid. There wasn't high stakes.
Right.
But I feel like if we do get in a pressure situation where we are sitting in a semi-comfortable score position, I think we could see. I do.
Do you think he'll start a game, or do you think he'll just come in as a pinch hitter?
I think he'll come in as a pinch hitter.
Okay, so he won't start in the lineup?
No. Okay. Not going to start.
I don't think he'll start. I think if the score is lopsided either way, we may see him.
Yeah,
right?
No, absolutely, and I could see it. I could see him being like a momentum changer. So if like momentum's not going our way and we need a pinch hitter, I could see him coming in.
Yeah. So in the off season, we're going to talk lots more about David Hensley, though. In the off season,
maybe we just need to have a David Hensley episode.
I mean, like I said, there is lots of time to fill in between now and spring training, Shelby. So
this man only has like 1,500 followers. You need to slide in the Bourbon NB Twitter, slide in there and be like, David Hensley, what's up? I think there might be
say that as if I already haven't, Shelby. Like, okay, I'm trying to grow the brand here, ma'am. Are you? No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks.
Geez, Shelby, I need you to pick it up. No.
It's okay. I got denied too. It's okay. I got ghosted.
That's okay. In the off season, like in the actual off season, maybe he'll. Anyway, so there was something else that I was trying to. I took a screenshot of it because I wanted to get your opinion on it, and now I can't find it in my pictures because I have 9,000 fucking pictures of the god-awful strike zone that was Game 4.
Fun.
Okay. Anyway, I guess we're going to have to save that for later. So, World Series prediction. Shelby, I'm making you do one right now without thinking about it.
Okay.
Go.
I have my prediction. Obviously, they've all been wrong, but I have a good prediction, I feel like. I'm going to go Stros in 6.
Stros in 6. I think Stros in 6 is a good prediction. I was going to go Stros in 5, but I was like, I think we're gonna lose a couple. So I think I concur with your prediction of Stros in 6.
I've been thinking about that all day because I knew that moment was going to come today, and that was my lock-in. You could tell I've been thinking about it.
I'm glad that you thought about it, Shelby, and you weren't like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
No, I was prepared, but that is what my heart and soul says. My heart and soul has not been great this postseason, but in a good way. But that is going to be my prediction. Correct,
because our brackets were all kinds of wrong, except for Cleveland beating the Rays.
Yes,
we had that. We had that, but in no world did I have the Phillies beating the Cardinals, the Braves, and the Mets. Didn't have it. Anyways, so I think we will close that out. I'll close it out because we've been talking for 93 hours. So we have got to wait until Friday for Game 1. We will be on pins and needles. I don't know when we're going to record next because our schedules are just all kinds of off. So at some point in time, you will get another episode somewhere down the road. I don't know when. But you just be glad that you are getting this bonus episode. See, we are benevolent benefactors. That's the wordiest thing ever. I need to come up with a better thing. Anyway, so we appreciate everyone that has listened, that has stayed with us. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Apparently now we're on TikTok because I'm doing those ridiculous recaps. That is Shelby. I'm Suzy. I'll put all of our information in the show notes. I will also put the picture that Shelby sent me in the show notes so that you guys can see what I reacted to. We did not do a very good job of describing that to our podcast only viewers, and I apologize for that. That's our bad. We're still learning. We're still infants in this, but we'll put that all in the show notes. If you like what you hear, if you don't like what you hear, don't say anything. But subscribe, review, give us stars, all of the fun stuffs, and we will see you later. Go Stros. I'm going to hit stop now.